Hey everyone, it's JC, the Gospel Centered Health Coach. Today, we're going to talk about holiday eating. And it's funny because I'm filming this in November. I should have done it before Halloween, right? But Thanksgiving, when I'm recording this, Thanksgiving is in a couple weeks. And so we are gearing up for the hardest season of the year for those of us that struggle with food issues. It's the funnest. If you're giving yourself free rein and you love all the food of the holidays and you can't wait, but it also can be the hardest for sure, especially when we get to January and we're like, okay, I got to crawl out of this hole that I dug myself in for 2 months. And I'm going to suggest maybe there's just a little tweak we can make this year so it doesn't feel quite like that in January. I want to share a couple of verses is all. I actually had a whole list. And the more I started thinking about it, I thought, okay, let's just hone in on a couple of key ideas and one verse in particular that has really had me thinking. So it comes from 1 Corinthians 10, verse 31. You've heard it before, I'm sure. And it's a simple little phrase. Now, I'm thinking before I read it to you, and maybe you already know what it is. Can I just preface by saying it's such a simple phrase, but it may be super hard. What I'm going to suggest may be super hard. And it may not think it's going to be hard, but as you go through the holidays, if it's hard, let me just validate that. It may be harder than you think, and we'll talk about that. 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat or drink or whatever, do it to the glory of God. And it says different ways in different translations, but it's basically always that idea. Whether you eat or whether you drink or whatever you do it to the glory of God. Do it to the glory of God. So as we begin to go through the holidays, how do we do that? Because we get really excited about all the fun food that is available. How do you eat that food or not eat it or choose how to navigate this whole thing so that God is glorified? Like, what does that even have to do? How can you eat in a way that he's glorified? Have you ever thought about that? I actually have been thinking about that and how I would define it and what that would need to look like. I found some quotes, or just one quote in particular from John Piper, who really hones in on this. I've heard him say this phrase I'm going to read you in books, in websites, like articles online. I've heard him say it. I've seen it posted on his Instagram, like over and over and over. This is kind of one of his main, like, key life messages. And he says, God is most glorified in us when we are most satisfied in him. As we go through the Christmas season, the way we can bring him glory is to see what is your greatest satisfaction during this season. As we look at Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that those holidays mean in our lives, it is a beautiful time to make sure we are glorifying him and thanking him and being aware of him and thinking of him. But often it's the food that's glorified. Grandma's fudge and those favorite treats and your favorite pies it's easy to do. And again, this may sound hard, I don't know, but listen to what else he says. He says, if you are most satisfied, and he gives a list, in family or job or fame or success or money or food or music or health or staying alive, if you are more satisfied in any of those than you are in God, then you diminish the glory of God and you magnify the glory of what you're most satisfied in. So that's the thought I want you to take into the holidays this year. Am I magnifying the glory of sugar, of chocolate, of the treats by my attitude, my mental approach to them? Am I so excited about them that he is nowhere near to be found in those moments? All I'm doing is I can't wait for the moment that I can partake. And in that way, I'm reducing his glory and magnifying the glory of the food. It's just food. And this is a season that we are supposed to be giving gratitude to him. Both holidays. He says, what does glorify mean? To show God is glorious, to show him to be great or beautiful or valuable. The pleasure in the food can cause us to cherish something else more than God by making us forget God, because we're so satisfied in the pleasures that his gifts give us. Last thing he says, as we eat, as we go through those opportunities, I'm not saying don't eat the sugar. You may not be in that place at all. That may not be the path he's calling you to walk. All I'm saying is, as you are presented with opportunities to partake of really delicious and good food, it can be a gift from him. But can you do it with a mind that is turned to him, in gratitude to him? I think if we will keep his presence close, that binging might not get so out of control. I don't know about you, but I never had any mental awareness of him with me when I was enjoying and caught up in the moments of binging on my favorite food. That was completely divorced from a sense of his presence or a sense of any type of spiritual or religious moment. I was enjoying the food. I was enjoying the physical pleasure. I was not anywhere near thinking of God. Like sometimes we as Christians or as believers, we bless our food, right? We offer grace, however you do that in your denomination. We'll say those words and dive in and not give him another thought. So what I'm suggesting is maybe eat and drink. With that, actually the moment of eating, keep that gratitude, keep his presence close, and offer that to glorify him. Thank you for this gift. I'm not going to rejoice in the gift more than the giver. As we eat, he says, we can remind ourselves that this particular pleasure, this taste on my tongue, this nourishment, reveals something of God to my senses and my soul that could not be known any other way. That's why the world was created, because all of it is like a prism giving us some new side of the glory of God. Could this wonderful food that he has given us be turned in a way from just the pleasure seeking to actually be opening our hearts in even bigger gratitude for the abundance that he's blessed us with? That's just one way to look at it. I would invite you to really ponder that scripture, eat and drink, or whatever you do it to the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. What does that mean to you? Are you most satisfied in him and thus showing that he is the most valuable thing to you in your life? Or are you gearing up for the holidays and you're like, hey, I will deal with it in January. I'm going to enjoy this. Do you think there's a balance that you could find where you are truly enjoying some bites of really wonderful, well-cooked food in gratitude to him for that gift? Or is it just about the pleasure seeking? Something to think about. And that's why I said it may be hard. You may come to this out of this season, and what he will have wanted for you to see as you try to eat and drink to his glory is that you can't. I had to admit that to myself. I wanted to, but the addiction of my body, it fought my ability to glorify God in food. It just wanted to partake for its own pleasure. So that's okay too if you come out of the holidays going, I can't. Lord, help me. That's where the second verse comes in. I was going to go with, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. As we try to do this, focusing on that verse that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, Philippians 4:13, that we know so well. But actually, I chose a different one. Let's go piggyback on that first scripture with Philippians 2:13 that says, for it is God that worketh in you to will and to do of his good pleasure. So as we're trying to glorify him in our eating, to thank him and have a heart full of gratitude for the abundance he has given, if we find our old patterns pushing for control of us during the holidays, that one treat that we've waited for the entire year, and there it is, and that your body's just screaming to binge it, and it's really hard to glorify God in that moment. For it is God that worketh in us to will and to do of his good pleasure. So he can not only help us eat, the action part, eat in a way that glorifies him, he can help us will, to want to. As those food demons try to take control, our desires fight. Our desires to just binge our way through the holidays because it is so pleasurable. He can help us want to glorify him in our eating. What do you think? It's okay if it's hard. If it's okay if it's messy. It's okay if you hit January like, I tried to do that and I hardly did it all. That's okay. It's a journey. That's why I have a whole channel. That's why I have so much support, so many resources, because I hit that point too. I'm just inviting you as we go into the holidays to have a mind that's turned to him, to reach for his presence before you reach for the food, and keep him close as you reach for the food, so that you can do it in a way that glorifies him and that brings you into the new year with a sense of victory and not defeat. Hope that helps. I will see you in a few weeks.